NBC Sports, reporting on.
The evolution of sports will not be complete until every sports fan on the planet comes to know my creation, Mike. A brilliantly simple cartoon character destined to be the sports world's first ever animated brand. My trademarked Mike, last name Raffone, will not just change the face of sports, but will eventually embody the new face of sports in the ever-evolving landscape of digital media. In time, Mike will rival the popularity of other animated notables. Mike will be as universally appealing as Mickey Mouse, as witty and funny as SpongeBob, as impishly entertaining as Bart Simpson, and as trusted a brand advertising spokesperson as the Aflac Duck or the Geico Gecko. Mike will be seen and heard across the multitude of media platforms. Expect to see Mike on TV as an on-air personality interacting with real sports stars. Expect to see Mike on the web, on a top sports website, as a blogger, an engaging catalyst, and eventually as host of his own sports talk show where he interviews A-list sports celebrities. Expect to see Mike on jumbotrons in stadiums and arenas as part of in-game entertainment. Expect to hear Mike on the radio as a syndicated personality, kind of like a Paul Harvey. Expect to see Mike on mobile devices with his very own app. Expect to see Mike in video games as himself. Expect to see Mike on TV, billboards, and print media as a trustworthy corporate spokesperson like the Geico Gecko or Aflac Duck. And expect to see Mike in a series of sports books for kids as the narrator. Most importantly, expect to witness the positive impact Mike will make as a bold, inventive, socially relevant, and highly respected talking head on sports. Mike will be an overwhelming success because he's an alter ego type character. Mike will entertain by identifying all the elephants in the room and saying all the things that others only think but are unwilling to say, whether on camera or in print. As creator of the unique Mike sports character, I am most qualified to present to your sports conference for several reasons. Number one, I'm a successful businessman. The making of Mike is now my full-time gig. I believe so strongly in the potential of Mike that I walked away from a $50 million business I created from scratch in order to bring Mike to life. Number two, I'm a visionary. I could already see Mike as a global brand. I've trademarked the character, developed all of its content, and along with my wife, personally financed all of Mike's development. I'm a leader. I've already built a team for Mike consisting of an Emmy Award-winning animator, very talented music and audio guys, a crack legal team, additional writers, and a well-known sports agency. And lastly, I'm a world champion senior athlete, believe it or not. I'm a decorated collegiate basketball player and one of the most enigmatic athletes in the history of college sports in Boston. So Google me. My name is Jim Sweeney, played basketball for Boston College. And I ask you, don't pass judgment until you've had an opportunity to speak with me directly or learn more about my own personal story. Most importantly, I'm a strong, mature, and experienced 54-year-old guy who fully understands the immense social responsibility of fair, impartial, and properly researched sports journalism. Allow me to close by referencing my favorite quote from the late founder Steve Jobs of Apple. Steve Jobs had once said, "Those that are crazy enough to think that they could actually change the world are the ones that eventually do." Well, guilty as charged. I think I'm crazy enough that I could change the face of sports by creating a new face of sports in my cartoon sports character by the name of Mike.
Take that to the bank, and that's no braggadocio. Ooh.